Welcome back, guys. Deathbringer here. So today we are doing the Smouldering Lake area. Yeah. So right off the bat, yeah, you can hit those small balls in case you didn't know, and even target them, which is pretty nice. So anyway, this area. Uh, this is an optional area. The first, yeah, the first optional area of the game. It has unique enemies, and it's kind of a continuation of the catacombs. I really wish that this area wasn't optional, at least not in eternity, like the whole area, because the catacombs felt really lackluster. Or maybe you should come here after some other areas, like let's say you need some kind of special flame to open the profane capital. Let's say you need some flame jig and you have to come here to take it. So anyway, that's in a whole imaginary world of mine, doesn't matter. So this area, continuation of the catacombs thing. So pretty much here there are a few gimmicks. First of all, right off the bat, the introduction of this area, we cannot see it at the moment because I'm starting the different bonfire. Right off the bat, the introduction of this area, pretty amazing. From one hand, you get the huge catapult thingy, and from the other hand, you get the worm. So the worm is there to kind of make you scared, which I was the first time I played the area. Now that I know the trick how to beat it, it's not that bad. So anyway, the worm is there to make you scared and venture off. There's some annoying crabs at the other side, so you have to somehow find for yourself that the catapult can break the walls and you can drop down. I really wish they did it. They did that in a more like the first time you enter the area, the huge catapult break a random wall, so you can see that it can actually break walls, and that will make you learn and realize that, oh, maybe I should find the entrance by breaking walls. But anyway, also one of the rings of the game is behind such a wall, so whatever, no biggie. All I'm trying to say is that the first time I started, and when I came to the area, I didn't know about the wall, and I started at this bonfire the first time around. But that's you can say it's a really nice twist, because people will play the area differently, and that also adds to the magic of this area, because the first part of the area is actually playable in both sides. You don't have an advantage over on what side you start. So anyway, so we have two gimmicks upstairs, and then we have those guys with the fireballs, as you can see, which they're pretty tough if they stack up the fireballs. And then we have upgraded slimes, which is unfortunate for us, they're immune to fire damage, I think. So we have to kill them in other ways. So we will wait here, killing slimes, boys. Oh yeah, this is the high life. So anyway, also I want to say the hints that devs give you, they have also that special attack, really cool stuff. Also I want to say the devs gave you a lot of hints for this area. First of all, you can see the Hodrick from the catacombs. Second of all, the many skeletons that chase down, you might try to hit them and accidentally hit the bridge. Also, there is a mention in some of the items that the Carthus people fought a huge worm, which you find out it's the electric worm you found downstairs, like in the Smouldering Lake area. So anyway, the layout, there are two ways to go about it. The way was intended, in my opinion, is the way where the huge catapult breaks the wall and you drop down. So it's not the way we're currently moving on, but The layout of this area is pretty interesting. I kinda got lost way too many times, I have to say. But all in all, it's very hard to not to get lost in this area. So anyway, here we see those enemies again from the swamp. That's pretty weird, and that's also suggests lore-wise that the Pharaoh guys, or the Pharaoh guys somehow came down here, or maybe the Abyss expanded all the way to here. That means two things. It's how you take it. Maybe I will stick with the first one. Somehow the Pharaoh, not exactly the Pharaoh Legion, the guys that protected the Pharaoh Keep, maybe the Watchdogs, somehow came down here. But you can also argue that these enemies are different. Maybe I don't have a sure answer, by the way. Another unique style of the area is that everything seems to have the ember color. Well, we don't know exactly what that means. But we can speculate. Can definitely speculate. Yeah, maybe the Pharaoh Legion came down here, just conquered the demons. By the way, I don't think the witches you see are considered demon kind, like the guys that you pyromancer. Maybe they are. Whatever. Back to the layout of the level. This video is not about the lore. This video is about the game designs of the area. So, as an optional area, is considered harder than the regular areas you have faced, and it really has its moments. Like, it has some moments where you're like, holy shit, this looks hard. Also, this area, a lot of upgrade materials for the guys that use more than one weapon. I know you're out there, so a lot of upgrade materials to make sure you're ready for the Earthil. But the level of the Boreal Valley, the max level is level 6, sorry. So if you only use one weapon, that won't do you much to come to this optional area. Also, they balance out the souls the enemy give. So also, if you do that area at best versus Nation 1 that did not found this area, you will have at best 3 level advantage, maybe even 4, but that means you didn't lose anything. Other than that, you will have advantage over equipment, because right here you can find, I think, the Black Knight sword. Yeah, it's right behind that axe guy. It's really interesting that the Black Knights fight the Groots, I think it's their name. But maybe that even suggests that the Groots are no, I'm sure they're Abus foes. I'm sure they consider Abus. I don't know if the Abus weapons do extra damage to them, but if they do, yeah, they're not demons. They're Abus kind. And also that can somehow prove us if the witches are demons. Here we put that guy down. A special enemy behind a hidden door. Like, this whole room is hidden, supposedly. Again, tying with the role that the lord that Isolith, I think, yeah, is a place of magic and stuff. So anyway, yet again, dog enemies, weak to bleed, weak to daggers, get staggered, easily defend off. Those guys, we have seen one before. They return from Dark Souls 1, and they're just here to prove you that this is Isolith, in case you haven't noticed with all the demons and stuff. Again, getting staggered. So, moving on. They have quite of different attacks, I have to say, and their damage is real. You can very easily die to those enemies. In the new game plus 7, actually. Without the firing especially. So anyway, moving on. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the jumping enemies. The room upstairs is the only room in the whole game you will find the crazy no weapon jumping enemies. As you can see, those guys can cast miracles too. Pretty interesting. Anyway, those jumping enemies, you can only fight them two at once, and as you can see, you can aggro one of them, thankfully. But again, Dark Souls fashion, if you're not careful, you will get killed very easily. Like if you just go gun blazing, you will get killed. And also, that's very apparent in this area. You have the room with the two fireball mages. You have many rooms with ambushes that the enemies wait. Like when you enter the room, you see an enemy way ahead, and if you try to rush that enemy, the other enemies will gank you. So that's very interesting. Like they use the the quote-unquote labyrinth layout of the area against you, with many closed rooms to make you, like, to hide enemies from your sight, basically, which is very interesting. So anyway, if you go all the way over that room, you will find a lizard, not an enemy we have to kill. I think I'm testing that ring right here. So anyway, getting prepared for this room. Same gimmick. If you walk gun blazing, you're gonna get ganked. So those enemies are tied. Their aggro is tied. Like if you aggro one of them, the other will come too. But although they seem to have the same walking speed, they have different attacks, and the one with the shield is typically slower. So here, as you can see, 3 attacks are basically all it's needed for me to die. I have to be careful. Killing that guy, avoiding that, trying for a backstab. Also, those guys, as their swamp counterpart, they have that weird hyper armor with shield up move. So you have to be very careful of that. So anyway, I'm going to that guy. He's alone. Like the priest guys are the easiest. They have the poison gimmick, which is actually toxic, by the way. It's an upgraded version here. So we see many difference between them and the guys from the Farron Keep. So that also can show you that those things moved from the Farron Keep to here, because otherwise the guys on the Farron Keep would have the toxic mist as well, because the toxic mist comes from Islith. So anyway, that proves you that those guys moved here from the Farron Keep. So maybe an all-out war with the demons, who knows. Also, Carthus is here too in this area. So maybe first of all Carthus went versus the worm and the demons, and then after Carthus fell to the Abyss Watchers, and after the Abyss came to the Farron Keep, the Abyss creatures moved down here. I still don't know the witches' story. The witches with the fireball, what's their story and what's their affiliation. So here it's getting a little bit boring, I have to say. You will hear me mumbling while we'll kill slimes. So it's not that bad. Charging attacks. Maybe I will take some dump damage too, if I remember correctly. Anyway, we are using regeneration ring to our advantage. So anyway, all in all, this is a gimmicky hallway. They try to use the slimes against you. If they drop down, I think they will one-shot me in the new game +7. So you have to be really careful around them. Level 125, so yeah. not the calculated level you should be in this difficulty, but that's part of the challenge. So anyway, as I said, really annoying slimes that they're immune to fire. The only weakness of slime, as I think, I'm not sure. So about the difficulty of this area. The first time you come around, it's gonna be way harder, of course. Uh, Also, the position of the bonfires. It's really. It's really how I wanted more areas to do them. Actually, the way the bonfires are in this area are really in a very good light, because you have the first bonfire, which is when you go like close to the entrance of the Smouldering Lake, and then you have two choices there. You have the one that's close to the bones room, so you can fight the boss right away with the respawn, and the other that has a relative distance from the one that's close to the boss room, that you have to go across a lot of enemies. And you can argue this is bad because the three bonfires are way too close to each other and way too close to the boss room. First of all, this is an optional area, and what that means, people that come here don't want to just fight the boss and leave. They want to search stuff. And neither of the three bonfire is close to the searchable part of the area, which is really nice. Whatever bonfire you choose, you have to get through a lot of things to find the optional stuff, if you want to say it that way. But of course, the better one is the one that's close to the boss room. So, which is also hard to find if the first bonfire you found in this area, excluding the starting one, is the one that you fell from it's the one that you fell from above, from the Smouldering Lake. So if you find the one that you fell from above, you have a relative path. If you don't know about the hidden wall, which is very real, you do the hidden wall that leads to the slime room, as we saw. So if you don't find that hidden wall, you have to walk through one of the hardest enemies of the game, I think. Yeah, the jumping enemies. Oh no, I'm lying. You have to walk through all the way around through some enemies, and you have to face the dog enemies, you have to face the Dark Souls 1 isolate enemies with the fire. You have to face some enemies, and then you go to the open room. And after that, you have some choices, like you have to face a wick rat, which will lead you to this path, or you have to go through that very hard room, which heavily suggests you don't go that way. So many new players will end up being here where I am right now without lighting the boss, quote unquote, respawning bonfire, the bonfire that's close to the boss. So it's really good how this area plays out. Like the first bonfire, quote unquote, no, the introduction one, the bonfire that you fall from above, and the boss respawning bonfire are really close to each other, but there are so many ways to get lost and to not find the boss respawning one, which in this case will make you to adventure further and further, even if you don't want to, even if you want to find the boss and just kill it and just leave. That will make you go further and further, and there are actually many paths to take. And there are some traps. Here we see the NPC is dead. I killed him in another run, I think, and then I died. Also, lava gimmick. I think it's the first and the only time you will see lava in this game. Install kill if you don't hold up a shield. Yeah, in most cases. So, really weird, really weird. There's some ways to fall. Exactly right here when you fight a knight, it's very easy to fall from his attack, so instant death. Yet again, that you see, like, it's a huge road if you go from the bonfire. Like, imagine that you start from the bonfire that you. Holy shit, the damage. You start from the bonfire that. When the thing breaks, you start there, so. You come from above, you start there, you rest. Then you have to fight some regular enemies that you have seen yet again in the Farron game that you have seen them, so you know what to expect. After that, you get introduced to the huge room with the two mages that you have never seen before. So, and they also, their attacks are spamming you away, so you leave that and you see that there's another path with a small rat. So you go there. Let's say you are not jumping into the lava, because this whole level plays out that you have to be really careful of your step. Let's say you're not jumping there, so you keep moving, killing some rats. You also get to see the enemies that curse you. They return here too. So again, you saw them in the Farron game for the first time, if you haven't played Dark Souls 1, of course. So you keep moving. And after that, you come to the area where I'm at. You fight a Black Knight, you have to be very careful of the lava. And then, by that time, most new players should be very close to running out of Estus. Like, you should have 1 to 2 Estus, probably. If you haven't visited the Irithel of the Boreal Valley first. Because you will get an extra Estus flags, I think. There's anyway. You keep moving. And you, let's say you beat the knight, you beat the NPC, like, yet again, there's some other paths to take. Let's say you even find the secret with the rats and stuff. And then you come here. And here you have to fight some bone wheels, which are heavily nerfed, by the way. Not my, not my bone wheels. Bring me back my Dark Souls 1 bone wheels. So anyway, you fight those again. They could play the catapult gimmick more nicely, especially in this small mountain area. Or whatever, it is what it is. So that will do you 2 things. One, the catapult will stop working if you beat everything up there. But that's also a bad thing, quote unquote. Because the catapult can help you find more secrets of the area, like the ring I said before, and can also help you chase the worm, if you know that. But whatever, it's better thing to just close it, just deactivate it. So anyway, and after all that, you meet those enemies which, if you can't chase them with the scythe, like, most players won't have a weapon that can break their poise. A fast weapon actually that can break their poise, because those guys are pretty agile and many new players won't have the stamina to swing a big weapon more than once. So anyway, you find those guys. So let's say you beat all that. By that time you should be out of Estus. So you should be out of Estus, and the reward you took is to climb the whole thing just to deactivate that, which makes easier an area, like, it makes easier to explore the lake. But this is why it feels so empty. Like, it makes easier to move through the lake, but there is nothing to get from the lake actually, other than some upgrade materials. There's nothing else. Like, maybe they could play out differently and the boss door should be at the end of the lake. Maybe at the end of the lake there should be more to the area, like extra path. Like, say, like, you close that, so now you, from all the things you did, you walked so far away, you did so much just to find an empty area with a bunch of crabs. And actually I think, yeah, here you will start saving killing the crabs. There is only one crab there is a special crab here that actually I didn't know by the time I did the area. There's a special crab that won't go aggro on you. So yeah, there's a special crab that won't go aggro on you on sight, but I didn't know that, so I think I killed him. So anyway, here you will see me killing the crabs. Pretty boring stuff. Actually, the lightning will do more damage because we're in water. Yeah. So also the crabs have that weird ember effect. Still don't know why this area is covered with that effect. It kinda makes no sense to me because fire should be fading, or maybe there was a recent Lord of Embers from this area. Like, also, yeah, that's another question. Why this area still exists? Why this area still exists? We don't know. Maybe because the Bed of Chaos was quote unquote one of the big souls. Who knows? Who knows? Then why the Catacombs of Nita are not there? No, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too overcomplicated. So, whatever. We snipe the crabs just to agree. So, actually, in case you didn't know, you can repost the crabs in one of their attacks. And I think I can showcase here. Yeah, right here. So you can repost them. That makes the fight with the crabs so much easier. Grab attack, getting grabbed like a scrub. Yeah. You see me getting destroyed. Yeah, that's the attack that you can pretty much repost them. Also, the crabs have different AI. Like, their moves are tweaked. Some of them will do some of their moves more frequent than others. Others will choose other moves more frequent. Like, I really like when FromSoft tries to make even the same enemies feel unique, but I still feel that this whole section of this area is lacking a lot. Like, your reward for deactivating the catapult is only that. You get more freedom in an area where there are only upgrade materials and nothing more. Like, you get nothing more. Still an empty area. Like, why? Like, the whole gimmick with the trees and the catapult is really nice, but other than that, it feels like okay, I get it, it's an optional area. They wanted to include it in the game, but just also to showcase, like, Dark Souls 3 is supposed to be like, it ties up what's happened to everything, so they should have a demon area to showcase what happened to demons. And later in the DLC we'll learn that all the demon kind is extinct, I think, yes, and only the demon priest is the last one, and then you kill that demon too, so there are no more demons left after that. I think that's the case. Correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, killing that guy very easily. It's very easy, not so hard. Again, you can repost them, which makes the whole encounter much easier. But still getting grabbed by that. Holy shit, I'm so bad. But yeah, the crabs. Nothing new to them. The same old crab, just for texture. I don't know why. This area had so much potential, like this part here. Like, the whole area, when you get into the quote unquote Lambert style, and even after that, after the rat checkpoint, it's so well done, like, in my opinion. Like, it's really well done. It has enough secrets, it has enough gimmicks, it has the right amount of enemies, but the whole upper area feels so empty. Again, the same problem as before. The areas that tie the other areas together feel like a filler. Like, okay, they had this nice idea, but it never really worked out. Never really did. Are we done? Holy shit, we have more. Holy shit. We have more crabs to go. 3 more actually. So sniping, getting the aggro. Nothing new. They will always do that attack. It's like the katana running R1. Katana users running R1. We always start with that. Can't avoid that. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't in the right angle, so I didn't want to risk it. We're posting that. Like, I wish they had these crabs throw out lava or something. Like, you know, the ones on the DLC, I think they throw ice. I wish they had lava or something. But no, we can't have pretty things in this game, no. So anyway, keep moving. Also, there's so many theories about the little crab in the catacombs that you can bring him here, but no one knows what it does. Maybe it's just a reference to, I think it was it Dark Souls 2? Yeah, I think it's a reference to Dark Souls 2, where you can bring an enemy to a place and then you get rewarded for an item. Dark Souls 2 had like some pretty nice quote-unquote secret in mechanics and weapons and stuff. Even though like the game has so many mistakes in my opinion. I really enjoyed that game. I wish they expanded on that kind of game more. Like, I wish they did, like, how can I say it? Like, it felt very weird and empty at times, but it had some nice ideas. I wish Dark Souls 3 had more gimmicky stuff like Dark Souls 2, especially the, let's be real here, the fucking red aura, the fucking red thing you get from winning too many duels. Holy shit, that was so awesome. So anyway, I think we're done. Are we done with the crabs? Is it finally over? Yeah. I'm getting that in case I turn this character into a filthy chaos character. Maybe. I don't think I will do that though. Just kidding, like, no point in not to. So anyway, after the boring crab exhibition, holy shit, it's finally done. You will see me killing. Yeah, here I'm just showing this little space. Oh, you will see me killing the NPC. Yeah, maybe, or maybe I'm just going there to make sure he's dead. I think I will kill him now. So yeah, too bad I couldn't showcase the catapult thingy, shooting and stuff. But I like to start inside the area, like in the close to the mushroom bonfire, cause it feels much better. Like to start the challenge there, cause the harder parts of the area are close to that bonfire, and if you fail, you can pretty much go and retry. I think that's the one with the chunk here, wherever. That character already has everything he ever needs, so here versus the NPC. Here I'm getting wrecked. It's very weird, he doesn't do much. Holy shit, Dad, look at this copycat, look at this guy. It's very weird that he doesn't do a lot of damage even in Game Plus 7, and his fat roll into why they added, why do you add the fat roll? Just to showcase why he fell down here? This is what you're saying to me? So anyway, Many of the NPCs, like especially early game or the guys that you summon, holy shit, the poison disrespect. Whatever. Many of them don't have a lot of damage. They get pretty much good defenses, but the bleed counters that, because the bleed is quote unquote true damage. So the bleed counters that, and the poison also counters that. So anyway, last thing from this optional area, which usually is really good. Like, I wish they played more, like with more things on this open area. Maybe like the worm should have created holes. Let's imagine that the worm created holes, so you go back and forth. Like there are many holes to go down, and you go back and forth. Like you come up, and then you have to choose another hole to go down. That sounds really weird, by the way. Anyway, yeah. And sometimes, like if you try to find one of the holes, the worm comes out and does some damage to you, or something like that. Like the mimic chest, it's a risk, but you can also have like the holes where the worm comes out. You can also have it like there have some special traits, so it's not unfair to the player. Anyway, that worm, that huge worm, is there to just say, go away from the boss room, find another way, don't go straight to the boss, no. It's really scary, but actually here I'm showcasing a strategy you can do to kill it if the catapult thingy is deactivated. Yeah. Really scary. Also the worm, really weird entity. Like it be sent at the Carthus fight, I think, but that means they didn't beat it. If it's still alive, or it became undead too because of the abyss, because the skeletons of Carthus are actually alive because of the abyss. So we don't know what happens. Maybe I don't know. And why it has lighting, like why it uses lighting, that's also a weird trait too. We know that lighting is a thing of the gods. Here I'm trying to see if I can apply poison. Yeah, right. We also know that lighting is a thing of the gods, so why you can use lighting is somehow connected to stuff like the priestess or Word of the White, or is a descendant of gods. Like why it can use lighting, I don't know. I don't know. You also get a miracle from it, which is pretty weird in itself, I think. Yes, you can get a miracle from that. No, you get for your Estus flags thingy. Yeah, you don't get a miracle actually. We will see, I don't remember. So yeah, we don't know much for it. And it's also really anticlimactic that you can kill it that way. But anyway, a lot of unfinished ideas in this area. All in all, the upper half, like the introduction is amazing the first time you come around, but then you realize, holy shit, it's empty. It has no soul, which is pretty unfortunate. And the problem I had with Dark Souls 2, by the way. The areas below, really awesome stuff, pretty challenging, like the whole meat is these areas. But anyway, guys, peace for now. See you next time.